good to see you, so many of you staying for this brave talk after the screening of Much Loved. And we have about 20-25 minutes. Well, I'll be talking with Nabil, and then we will throw open questions to you. We have a microphone over there, so if you have a question, please do come down and give us it from the microphone. But for the first 25 minutes, I'm afraid you've got me. So,
I'm afraid also.
And I'm going to ask you a very, very obvious film. What was it that drove you to want to make this film in the first place?
I think I was always amazed by the impact of those women on the Moroccan society. I'm saying amazed because they're haunting my films, my previous ones, like Ali Zawa, like Horses of God. There is always a character of a prostitute. She's a mother. They play a part. We deny this part for several reasons, probably linked to my personal background. I was always shocked by that. So I decided to go deeply into the subject, and it happens that 4 women living in Marrakesh contacted me through my casting director, knowing that I was inquiring about the topic, and they said they would like to meet me. So I took my car, I went there. It lasted 2 days, and what they told me grabbed me enough to give me the willing to come back and back and back, and then began a very long period of 18 months of interviewing many prostitutes.
Mm. And did you also apart from interviewing the prostitutes, did you talk to some of the men that worked with them as well?
Yeah.
And
like the taxi drivers,
And the clients. Any clients?
Not the clients, because it happened that I met some of them before. I knew a little bit about the typology of those persons.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, it seems Marrakesh itself is very important. You show us quite a lot of Marrakesh. I mean, obviously, a lot of what takes place indoors. It has to. But there are long sequences at times when you show ordinary life going on in Marrakesh. Is Marrakesh was it absolutely specific and particular to this subject, or do you feel you could have made it in another city?
Oh, I could have always made it in another city, but it was a choice to do it in Marrakesh because this is really the place where they meet, where they arrive, where they finally reached, and because there is a lot of tourists, different citizenships, so this is also the place where it happens. And the city is really it's very to me it's very aggressive. It takes a lot. It gives a lot. It gives money. It gives the clients, but it takes a lot also in the same time.
Yeah.
So I was interested to make this city a character of the film.
It's interesting because I think it comes across in the film that there are like 2 sides to Marrakesh. It's a divided city in the sense that there is the public side, and then there is this hidden side. Just as there is the new town and the old town, it's a very mixed city. And of course, when you have something like that, you can often have double standards because you have a public virtues and private vices or private virtues, which can make for hypocrisy. And this film seems to me partly about the hypocrisy of having double standards. These women are doing this to support their families, and yet their families don't appreciate them, and society.
Yeah, more than appreciate, they don't see them. They don't recognize what they're doing for them. So they're very happy with the fact that their daughter are giving their flesh, their time, their soul for them, and bringing money to the house. But in the meantime, and this is the most shocking thing for me, they don't want to see that. They don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about their personal stories, about what their daughter are experiencing. And that's exactly what most of them told me. during this inquiry. They told me, in exchange of what I'm giving them, they see me like a credit card, a wallet. And I'm not claiming a lot, I'm just claiming a little bit of love. And this little bit of love, they don't give it to me. And I think this is the really, this is the starting point where something is broken inside them, you know, in the ability to give and receive love for those women.
Is that why you have, I think it's Noha, who is very awkward as a mother towards her child?
Yeah, I think she loves her child. She simply cannot give him what a mother should give to a child, which is fairly different and probably more dramatic.
Yeah. You have the four main characters, and they're all quite vividly drawn. And I wonder, how did those characters come about? Were they possibly based on people you spoke to and met in your research?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each one of those four women carries a little piece of the 300 women that I met.
Yeah. But they're not, they're composite characters, they're not...
of course, because this is a fiction.
Yeah, yeah. Did you... I have to ask you this, as a man, did you ever feel constrained filming this in any way? Because you're actually filming women using their bodies and things. And did you ever think, well, I'm a filmmaker who's using these women's bodies as well? How did you deal with that?
Not a single day. But this is a very good question, because as a man, as I always felt since the very beginning of this project that this film had to be done by a woman and not a man, because this is a woman movie actually. And I didn't understand why it hadn't been done by a woman. So from that, I decided to do it because I wanted to do it, and I had something to express on this topic. But with always this idea in my mind that it is a woman movie, or it should be a woman movie. For the very first time, for example, I worked with my fiancée on the film for all the preparation of the work, since casting, everything. She was always with me. We were together. But for the very first time of my career, also, my first AD was a woman. My DOP, Virginie Surdège, was a woman also. So I think that naturally, I thought that I needed this woman look on what I was doing.
Yeah, I think that obviously comes through in the filming, because it never feels exploitative. So it's possible to make films on subjects like this, and I won't name any films, but there have been films made in Hollywood or whatever, and they often come across as deeply exploitative, even though they're trying to be sympathetic. This film never feels exploitative.
Because, and I was drove all the time by this question: where is the limit? What should I show? Because as you can imagine, the reality is much more than the fiction. What should I show, and where should I stop? This was a leitmotiv, haunting question, coming back and back and back all the time in my head. Because also I decided to give the actresses a kind of freedom. We worked a lot to build the characters for a few months before the shooting. We worked on the gestures, on the movement, on the way of to walk, on the voice, lots of exercise on the voice, on the inside, on their souvenir, and also on the flow of the text, because there's a way of speaking that for the Dutch people cannot be fully perceived, understood, but for the Moroccan people it's really obvious. That is very specific. And in this freedom, there was also the question of as I told you, what should I show and not, and how should I show it? So where basically should I put my cameras? Because there was quite all the time 2 cameras. There was a choice, one that is more for the wide shots, and one that had to go to the details of the skin, the details that tells a lot. So it happened very often that from one take to another, like on a theater stage, I come from theater, I said, okay, let's move it. Let's do it completely different. Not you, the actresses, as the technique, because I wanted to be at the right place to show what I wanted to show and not something else.
Yeah. Was it difficult casting the film? Because presumably it might be it's potentially controversial, this film, and I wondered if it was difficult to find actresses who would play these roles.
Surprisingly, it was not difficult to find actresses that wanted to play these roles. It was hard to find good actresses who wanted to play this role, that never acted before, because that I didn't want, and that would be capable to assume the after film, because I was very clear on that topic with them since the beginning. This is a sensitive topic, sensitive subject. I didn't know at that time that the controversy would be so violent, but this is a sensitive topic, so there would be debate, there would be a controversy, and there will be an after film. So I wanted to be sure of the reasons why they wanted to play in that film.
Yeah.
And when they told me, those girls, that they wanted to give those women a voice, to make them visible, I knew that they would assume.
Yeah. Were the authorities in Marrakesh aware of the film being made at the time? Were the authorities in Marrakesh aware that you were making this film? They were.
Well, everybody was aware, because I applied for subsidies at the Moroccan Cinematographic Center 2 times that I didn't receive, and then I applied for the shooting permit. So at that time, I had absolutely no problem with the film in Morocco for shooting it. The problem and the controversy came right after Cannes Film Festival.
Yes, and can you tell us about how that controversy sort of arose? I mean, what were the first signs of it?
The very beginning is during the presentation at La Quinzaine. The 4 clips that were aimed to the press were hacked from the La Quinzaine server and put on YouTube. And in 1 week, it was simply incredible. I've never seen that in my life. Millions, literally millions, 3 or 4 millions of people in Morocco saw those clips. And on Facebook, it was a mess. I mean, upside down, everything. And I received phone calls from everywhere. What is that? And, And it became very violent when the Ministry of Communication, the day after Cannes finished, it was a Monday evening, I just went back to Morocco, decided on a press announcement that the film would be banned with any other respect of the procedure, because there are procedure, of course, as you can imagine. We should ask for a visa, and the commission should see the film, and nobody saw the film. And he decided, and he's not the one who's supposed to decide. He decided that the film would be banned. So, of course, after that, from a statue of a film, it became evil.
Yeah. The film can't be shown in Morocco, but it is actually opening here on February the 11th. So that's good. Has it played widely around the world? Yeah,
quite widely, and it continues also after Netherlands in different countries. Yeah,
and
it has been played in Tunisia, by the way.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
So are there any other countries you hope that it might play a part? I mean, obviously Morocco is out, seems to be out of the question, but
Well, we received some claim from other Arab countries, so it's probably that in the future there would be some other opportunity to screen it in the Arab world. But I should say that in Morocco, even if the film was banned and even if many people were against the film, there was also a lot of people with the film, supporting the film, supporting the freedom of speech, of course, the fact that we should not ban a film that way, and also supporting the fact that it's time to be able to watch this reality that is my way of showing a reality. So it's my choice on the screen. So there are diverse point of views. We should say it also in Morocco.
I'm going to throw it over to the public here in a minute, but there's one thing I really wanted to ask you about, which is the character of Said, because I myself, when watching the film, wasn't quite sure at first whether. I mean, he didn't seem to be their pimp at all.
He's not.
And they have such a nice relationship with him. And could you explain how that works and that particular relationship in the film, that character?
See those women, they have really some hard times to deal with public space, like street, for example. So getting down a building at midnight to go to a bar or disco or house and waiting for a cab for 20 minutes is simply impossible for them. And same when they come back in the middle of the night. So they hire some men like this taxi driver. They exist. There are lots of Said in Morocco, and it becomes a kind of an angel for them. Is more than a taxi driver. He's here to protect them. He's here to take care of them when they're sick. Put the money aside, you know. So it's a beautiful soul, and it's very. I met some of them, and it's very good for me that this character is really humble and shy, and we discover him very progressively during the film.
Yeah, and actually there's quite a lot of very gentle, tender humour based around his relationship with the girls. And actually one thing I like particularly about this film is that, yes, there is some violence in the film, but and there's always the threat of the risk of violence, but you don't make the film too heavy. You also show that in addition to the sadness and the difficulties with the families, the difficulties with the police, that there's a great deal of camaraderie amongst these people, and they have fun. Sometimes the fun is a bit desperate, but they do have fun together.
They do have fun, and it's their way to survive. I mean, to keep the head outside of the water, because without this friendship, without this new family, without humor, they laugh a lot about themselves, about the man, about the society. They're very sarcastic.
Yeah.
They would probably fall down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a kind of bouée de sauvetage, we say in French. You know, what you're hanging, not to.
Yeah, it's hanging on for dear life, as we say in English. Now, if people have questions, could you please come down to the mic here? I'm sure somebody must have some questions.
So my question is to you. The movie is an illustration to what happened in Morocco because I'm Moroccan, so I can't tell that. But when you are I want to know your expectation, because when you are talking on Morocco, you forget that it's a Muslim country. So the sexual scenes are a lot. So did you expect that Moroccans will go to the cinema watching a movie like that? For me, I will not imagine doing that with my parents or family. So, because it's a reality, it's a Muslim country. We can't I know it's a corrupted country. It's people are hypocrites there. I can't. I'm an engineer, so I really know what's happening there. But when you said that it made controversy and it was banned from Morocco, I thought that you were already known that before, no?
You see, it's not because you would not have been watching the film with your family, because I would have never go with my mother also watch the film, that the film should be banned. I mean, we're not talking about television, we're talking about cinema. Cinema, as far as I know, is a choice. So you decide to go or you decide not to go, and when you go, you choose your film. So not all the films, and we should get out from this idea that cinema is a popular art. Cinema is not a popular art. It can be popular, it can be shared by anybody, and there can be also some specific movies for a specific audience. And this is not because we're Muslim that we cannot be mature enough to see some films like this one, because otherwise, if we're not capable of talking about ourselves, frankly, some other people would do it in their way.
Yes, but I think in our law in Morocco it will be forbidden in our way. You can't just show movies, because for me it was a lot of naked scenes. Maybe if it was like small things or a lot of sexual things that we are not used to see in Morocco in movies or in cinema.
Oh no, you're wrong about that. Sorry. Do you live in Morocco?
I lived just 1 year, so
okay.
I left there.
In the previous 6 or 7 years, there were at least 2 or 3 movies, Moroccan movies, with love scenes. So this is not the problem, believe me. So about the dialogues also, there are some films today in Morocco since few years that use slang. So this, for me, this is not the reason why the film was banned.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have anybody else? Do you want to come down?
Only Moroccans go to the mic.
And this
does that mean something?
It means the brave people.
Brave people.
There's another.
Go on.
We're beginning to run out of time. So.
Yes, hello. I just want to say that I really like the movie. And I think it's good that this kind of cinema is made, because to show some different realities in Morocco and the world. There's some stories who never been told, actually been told now, and we have beautiful actresses and beautiful cinema. And I was really touched. I had to cry. I really love the movie. And like you said before, we have also Rock the Kasbah, which is a beautiful movie also from Morocco. And I want to answer the question of this man before me. I think, what should we do? Shouldn't we make cinema then? If you say nobody wants to go to the movie, shouldn't we tell these stories, or should we tell nothing? So no naked women, no questions, no criticism. I think it's good that we do that. Yeah, thank you.
The lady there, you had.
I'm not Moroccan, so I'm not that.
No, but okay. If you just tell us what you would like to ask, and then I'll repeat it.
I would like to know. This movie can't be shown in Morocco. That's clear. But are there any discussions on TV about your film or about the subject?
Not discussion on TV, but discussions a lot on the social networks and in the newspaper, the media, like press, like internet media. There were lots of discussions about the film. And I should say, once again, to be honest, that many of them defended the film, the media.
No, that's a good thing. That's a start.
Yes, absolutely.
Sadly, we have run out of time. I would remind you that, since you obviously all found the film interesting enough to stay on, do tell your friends that it's coming out on February the 11th. In fact, come and see the film again.
Thank you very much, Geoff.
And thank you, Nabil.
Thank you.